Part 1. The Foundational Laws, the Sacred Physics of Reality. Before you can master the divine art of co-creation, you must first surrender to the immutable physics of the infinite field. This opening chapter serves as a deep study of the universe's scaffolding, the 5 non-negotiable laws that define the very fabric of existence. These principles are the fixed, structural code of the cosmos, providing the framework through which all mastery is born. They reveal the profound truth that everything is eternally connected through the law of divine oneness, that every atom resides in constant motion via the law of vibration, and that energy is forever shifting form under the law of perpetual transmutation. In this realm, balance is struck by the law of polarity, while the law of rhythm ensures every tide eventually turns. By internalizing these foundational truths, you pierce the veil of chaos and step into a life of radical clarity and sovereign power. Chapter 1: The Law of Divine Oneness, the Great Truth. Nothing is separate. Nothing is lost. Have you ever stood in the middle of a crowded room, surrounded by conversation and laughter, yet felt an aching, hollow sense of isolation? You are not broken for feeling this way. You are simply experiencing the single greatest source of human suffering, the silent epidemic of our modern age, the illusion of separation. From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to believe that we are isolated units of consciousness, trapped inside our skin, adrift in a cold and indifferent universe. We are taught that it is us against the world. The law of divine oneness is the radical antidote to this collective amnesia. It reveals the structural reality of our cosmos. Beneath the chaotic dance of all physical forms, there is only one life, one consciousness, and one infinite field of existence. Imagine yourself not as a solitary, lonely point, but as a permanent, vital intersection within the single, luminous grid of all creation. We needn't rely solely on ancient mysticism to understand this. Modern science provides the roadmap. Physics has proven the principle of quantum entanglement, showing that 2 particles, once linked, remain instantaneously connected across vast distances. What happens to one instantly affects the other. Just as the fundamental building blocks of matter are deeply connected, so too is our collective consciousness. We are permanently tethered to the unified source. How to transcend and master the law of oneness? To transcend this limitation, you do not need to destroy the ego. You must simply upgrade your internal operating system. First, see the clean architecture of the cosmos. Transcendence begins by zooming out to view the grand design. Imagine a flawlessly constructed, multi-tiered system. To the untrained eye, every individual component appears to operate in isolation. But the master architect knows they all rest on the same foundation. A degraded signal in one isolated node inevitably alters the health of the entire environment. Optimizing the collective is optimizing the self. Second, elevate to radical emotional intelligence. When faced with toxic behavior or systemic chaos, the untrained mind reacts with defense. It creates an us versus them battlefield. The master transcends this through executive presence. They hold the silent, unshakable center, even when the surrounding environment is volatile. You act as the conscious immune system of the collective body, protecting your node to ensure the whole structure remains sound. Third, become the conscious filter. The final limitation to transcend is the empath's burden, the fear of absorbing the pain of the world. Mastery requires operational resilience. When you encounter the stagnant, oppressive data of human suffering, you honor the pain, but do not allow it to attach. You let it pass through your semi-permeable membrane, transmitting healing back into the system without storing those burdensome files within your own physical vessel. Because we are constituent parts of this singular, living organism, your personal boundaries are far more porous than they appear. Your most private thoughts, your smallest acts of kindness, and your hidden judgments are never truly isolated. They are energetic frequencies rippling outward, constantly co-creating the world. But when we encounter a truth this vast, the human mind naturally rebels. The ego throws up its hands and asks the hard, painful questions of survival. Let us address these doubts not as obstacles, but as the very stepping stones to true understanding.
is a fist unfurled. I tie my shoes, I walk the line, I tell the mirror that I'm doing fine. But there's a quiet aching in my chest, a lonely ghost that never gets to rest, thinking I'm